Welcome to another Petishku, a bite-sized chat about current topics. Today, I have a quick Zoom conversation with David from the Leisure Launch Group. David, how are you?
I'm good. I'm great, Dill. And you?
Very well, thank you. Welcome to another Petishku. I feel like you're going to be a regular in these Petishkus, but that's okay.
I'm right. I'm starting to feel comfortable with the whole thing. It's always nice to be invited, to be in your presence of such a famous person.
So can you see the Petishku behind me? It might not look like much, but it's supposed to be a chorizo on one of those traditional pottery plates. It's a great.
Are you sure that's a chorizo?
Yes, it is.
Let me see. It's chorizo. Okay. That's got to be one of the best. That's got to be one of the best petishkus, hey? With a bit of alcohol on the bottom there, light it up, watch that the kids don't catch a light in the process. No health and safety in petishkus. It's delicious.
So last week's Petishku, we spoke about our brand new, beautiful website that we've got in front of us here. And we ended about talking about how on some of these properties, there's this little icon called the Simple Life Home Pack icon.
Yeah, there's been a lot of...
It's not available to all. It's not on every property. It's only on some.
Yeah, there's been quite a lot of quite excited feedback. A couple of the clients who already have the Simple Life Home Pack, they didn't realize they had it already. All calling, do I have it? You're like, yeah, you've had it for a while already. But yeah, exciting times. Yeah, it's really a product which is obviously for new properties, new build properties, as you can see, and then also developers high quality developers who really want to take the level of service to a level that puts them well outside of the pack, really raising that bar as high as they possibly can because they feel that the client deserves it.
Well, the question, David, then why? Why the Simple Life Home Pack?
Well, Dylan, our belief is that clients want to invest in Portugal for a certain lifestyle, for an experience. They're looking for the simple life. And the property almost is incidental to that. The reason why you come to Portugal, the reason why you've decided to move to Portugal has less to do with the house, less to do with the apartment, and more to do with the lifestyle, the quality of life that you can achieve by living in Portugal. It's that balance that we talk about. We know when people are talking about a balance of life, when they're talking about quality of life, we are never talking about bricks and mortar. We are talking about a lifestyle. So the goal was in this pack of services to offer the client the experience, that lifestyle, the simple life experience that they were looking for, and almost incidentally fitting in the property as part of that experience, as opposed to what we probably would be different in our approach when we're looking for a house in our own country. We're looking for a house that has certain amount of rooms, so many bathrooms for the children. Do we need a garden? Do we need to be close to the school? All of these things. It's almost like the house or the property defines the life that we're going to have. Whereas in Portugal, that calculation is inverted. The life that I want, this is the life that I'm looking for. I'm looking for a simple life. Now, where can I find a house that would fit in with that? And that's how we approached the experience very successfully. Obviously, you can see the feedback from the owners.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about some of those services that are included in the Simple Life Home Pack to make the experience a smoother one, a simpler one, a more enjoyable one.
Yeah, so we're not going to talk about the house. You've chosen the house. You've chosen the apartment. What is important here is that your experience with that home is a pleasant one, is a beautiful one without stress. And that's our sole goal. So in the process, you've chosen your house. Dylan's done a great job in terms of the consultancy, or Anna or Maria or one of the salespeople have now introduced you to the home. You've chosen your home. The next step is obviously to have the administrative and legal accompaniment that you need. So accounting would switch on, would become important here. If you decided that we're coming to retire in Portugal, are there tax implications? Are there some tax savings that I can make? An accountant would be very important, and obviously Sophia is there to help in that regard. From a legal perspective, we strongly advise, and there's enough literature out there in the marketplace, that clients appoint a independent lawyer in Portugal. This is essential. Why? Not because you actually need a lawyer. The process in Portugal is very transparent, but more importantly, because you're trading in a different country. It's a different country, different culture, different mentality, and different language. So it's important that you have, and we strongly recommend that that you have a lawyer that will accompany you. The next process is being a new build. You want somebody that can accompany the development of the property. You want somebody that can accompany you through the process. If there's some customization that you want to your home to make that home uniquely yours, you need somebody that can guide you there, that can go walk with you, and also can translate your dreams, your desires into a language that the builder can understand. And that's what Luigi and his team there, with the engineers, with the designers, we'll talk about them, but that's their job. They will accompany you through that process, and then they will translate your dream into a more practical vision for the builder or the contractor to understand. Then comes the process of furnishing the home. From a decorative point of view, what do we want our home to look like? How are we going to use our home? It's important to be talking to the person who's going to be furnishing your home at the same time that you're talking to Louise in regards to the finishes that you're looking for your home. So Anna will be there to help you, to accompany you through that process, so that she can also at the same time give guidance to Louise in terms of the colors that you're choosing, your use of the home. These things are also important. But as well, if you're looking to rent your property, because in most cases people will kind of initially take it on as a rental stroke lifestyle property because they want to use it a bit themselves. They also want to rent it. That's where Anna becomes essential, giving you guidance in what standards you require, what is the standardization that you need in terms of all the finest of things, cutlery, crockery, what needs to be done, where the property would be rented, in which market, and what finishings you need, and what fittings you need for that client base. And then once the home comes closer to completion, the home installation, the connection of water, the connection of electricity, gas, certifications, the rental licenses, all of these things are taken care of by SCH. So Paolo will be there to accompany you, to take you through all of those processes, or actually not even to take you through, to do it for you so that you don't need to go and do it yourselves. She's there for that assistance. And then on an after sales basis, once the deed is done, once the completion is done, liaising with bankers for mortgages, liaising with the making sure that the property has been correctly registered, all kind of after sales support. Because what's going to happen is that once you've done your contract, you're going to have a million questions. I always say to clients, there are people there to support you in this regard. You're going to have a million questions, and we have our team, Louise and Denise, and the team are there to support you in that regard in terms of an after sales process. Once the property has been delivered, you now have your home. It's beautifully furnished. Anna's given her beautiful touches. Shame, she's so talented, that lady. You now want somebody to look after your property from a management point of view. Who's going to look after it? Who's going to go and check that the windows are open and shut? Who's going to air the house? Who's going to prepare the house for rental? And that's where SCH, Alana and her team are out there to help you in that regard. not only to manage your property and look after it. If you're going to be using the property for personal use, that's my experience in the Algarve. I have my house, our holiday home in the Algarve. We have a lady there that looks down there, a company that looks after our property management. We don't actually rent, but we also want to know that our home's going to be looked after when we're not there, and it's going to be clean and tidy when we arrive for our holiday. Alana and her team are there to look after that for you. And then from a holiday rentals point of view, if you've looked at it as an investment and you're looking to get the highest rentals possible, that's where Sandra is there for you. Sandra will be there to make sure that your property, that the proper professional photography is done, that there's proper service in terms of the cleanliness of the apartment, meeting all the clean and safe requirements. I mean, we're in the middle of a pandemic, making sure that the clean and safe requirements are being met, making sure that the licensing is properly done. And then the guest experience. I always say to people that when you decide to go into the rental business, or when you decide to rent your property, you need to be looking at it as a landlord. You're a landlord now. What is the experience that you want your clients or your guests to have? As any hotel manager would be looking at his guests and going, what is the experience that I want my guests to have in my property? Because that will guarantee the high yields in my property. If my guests have a good experience in my property, they will then come back year after year. And Sandra takes care of all of that. She makes sure that you're properly marketed, that your property is marketed on the international portals, making sure that it's also well connected in the local Portuguese community so that you can achieve high rentals and obviously resulting high yields on your property.
Okay. Take a breath. That is a lot of stuff.
It is a lot. I've tried to summarize it. It's been really difficult to summarize it. But the key thing for people to remember is that these are all real people that are working within our group. These are not services that we farm out.
Let's meet some of them, not properly, but let's have a look at
see what they look like.
Well, there's some of our realty. Whoa, that guy's scary looking.
Wow.
But let's talk about the people that make a real difference for us and for the experience that our clients have after they've found their home. Here you've got a couple of these.
Yeah, we've got Anna will do your interior decor and furnishing, making sure that everything is in place. Not only is the home from the inside beautiful and customized to your taste, but also at the same time making sure that everything that your guest will need, knife, fork, spoon, cups, Varinha Mágica, that little juja thing the Portuguese love because they love to make soup.
She talks about that thing all the time.
Constantly. I mean, this is such a necessity if you're going to be renting into the local market. So you need people that have got local market experience. Alana, in terms of the property management, she's the CEO of the SCH. Sandra, lovely, beautiful Sandra. She takes care of all of the rental side of the business, making sure that your property is being properly marketed out there, making sure that it appears in portals, making sure that it is on social media, that it's been properly presented, so that you can achieve as high occupancy as possible. Of course, high occupancy equals good yields. Sophia, the beautiful Sophia, lovely, a real professional accountant. Sophia has built her career. She's been in the group for many years, has built her reputation on being an accounting specialist, especially with a sensitivity to the foreign investors or foreign residents. So she's dealt with people from all countries, the UK, Scandinavia, the Benelux countries, Hong Kong, China, you name it, South Africa, you name it. She's got countries from all over, clients from all over the world. So she understands where you're coming from, what your concerns are. Salome, who heads our marketing team that makes sure that things are properly marketed out there, that everything works well. Luis, probably the most famous guy in our company. Luis is a guy that I've never known anybody to get as many bottles of wine, whiskey, chocolates. So, Luis and his team do some amazing work. And I mean, Dylan, the seriousness of Luis's position, he accompanies the client for effectively 7 years. This is a really, really expensive exercise. And he does this. He expensive not only in investment, but also in time. Luis knows the finest details of his house. I've sat in Luis's company where clients are calling him, clients that dealt with him 6, 7, 8 years ago, and he can describe their house to the detail. And they'll say, Luis, do you remember where our air conditioner unit was, etc., etc.? All in his head. His team are there to support people for all of those years.
Well, I must add that, for me, working with Portugal Realty and what I do, I mean, we do a really, really good job. We know this. We have some beautiful, beautiful properties. But really what sets us apart is this team and this service that the clients have access to.
Because it's less about, and again, I say to you, it's less about the acquisition of the property. People focus so much on the property, but at the end of the day, it's not. It's your experience around that property. How are you going to live in it? What your relationship with Portugal is going to be. These people are the ones that make it possible that you have that beautiful, simple experience. Happy João, our engineer, he's got to be the most creative engineer on the planet. He should have been an architect. Miguel is your guy that sits in the back office. You probably will never meet him personally, but Miguel is the one that goes through, makes sure that all that customization that you're asking for is done and that it's licensed correctly, so that in 10 or 15 years' time, when you eventually do decide to sell your home, that everything's been properly licensed so that that sales experience is as simple as the buying experience. Yeah.
People can go back and watch some of our petiscos. A lot of the people that we're looking at on our screen have been on a petisco. Yeah. Anna, Luis, Joao hasn't because he doesn't speak English. Elena, Sandra, these are all people that people can listen to, can hear what they do. Sophia's been on 3. She's been on a podcast episode, 2 petiscos. These are beautiful, wonderful, friendly people that make our clients' lives simple and happy and a pleasure to deal with. And it's a real honor to have these people in our family and part of the group.
Exactly. And please, when the clients do come to Portugal, pop in and visit them, see for yourself. They're wonderful people, the Portuguese, wonderful people.
But a thing that always comes up is, you can just chat to me about this, David, is a lot of agents and companies will claim to offer this service, but it's not a reality.
To be fair, Dylan, the process of offering a service to the level that we offer is really, really expensive. It's really expensive in time. Obviously, people with this level of skill are expensive. So what do companies do? They claim to offer these services, but the reality is that they're not really doing that. What they are doing is they're farming you out to another service. And you're left in the hands of that company. Whereas for us, it's all in-house. All of these people work for the Leisure Launch Group. They are all professionals that independently work for the companies within the group, but they are all accountable to the same client. We are all accountable to the same client. At the end of the day, if one of us fails the client, we all fail the client, and we all understand that. And the other important thing is that our relationship with a client, we always say this, our relationship with a client is at least 7 years. And in 7 years' time, in 5 years' time, in 3 years' time, in 2 years' time, you want to know that you have the support of these people around and they continue to be there. So that, I think, sets us well ahead of the pack. Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to put links for this service. People can visit the website, look at what properties are available with the Simple Life Home Pack that include the Simple Life Home Pack, and chat to us more about those.
Yes, yeah. But when you hear, please challenge them, talk to them, ask for them, meet them. They're real people with real support.
Exactly. But that's it for now. David, thank you once again, and I'm going to let you call it.
It's a wrap.
Please subscribe, share with your friends, give us a thumbs up, and please leave a comment or a review. We'd love to hear from you. Welcome to the Simple Life.